Hey guys, so I may have mentioned this, but it is now dark when I go to work in the morning, and it is dark when I get done with work in the evening. So, that being the case, if I do a video, it's probably only going to be at home or on my way to school that you guys are actually going to see me, or when I go by streetlights. So there is this attitude that I kind of want to talk about that I definitely had to deal with, and it is the attitude of, well, I guess this is just the way I am. Okay. That can be really, really unhealthy. Part of it, I feel like, kind of depends on if you like who you are, you like the way you are. But at the same time, a lot of times it's also used as an excuse to just be a crappy person. Or you feel stuck and you feel incapable of changing something that you just do not like about yourself, and you're like, oh, I guess it's just how I am, or it's familiar, and what have you. So I want to address that idea. This is something that started actually with my abusers. They would say, well, this is just the way I am. I can't change it. While expecting me to change myself and change my preferences and comfort zones, etc., to suit them. So, well, I guess this is just the way I am, it's a cop-out. Ask me how I know. It's because I used to say it. And I used to think it was true, too. I used to think I was not able to create these changes. And for anybody who is OCD out there, who my blinker drives crazy, I apologize. It has not worked correctly ever since I plugged in a U-Haul trailer. Sometimes it will go fast, and sometimes it will go slow, and sometimes it'll go fast, slow, and then it'll, it's just a thing. Anyway, this attitude of that's just the way I am. It's like take it or leave it. And it does not allow for growth. It does not allow for change. It just doesn't. And it's not healthy. Because in life, you want to be able to change. You want to give yourself that permission, that ability, what do we call it? Opportunity to change and grow. And, at one point, like in my last video, I mentioned how I had been just anxiety riddled. And I believed that I shouldn't have a voice. I was made to believe that I couldn't say anything right. I couldn't do anything right. And that I didn't have a right to have a voice. Because I always messed it up whenever I used it. Now, what that means is I'm obnoxious and apparently very funny as well. And silly. Just ridiculously silly. And, from the feedback that I get, it's a good thing, It's maybe not be for everybody, that's fine. But who I am and how I am, I can temper that depending on the people I'm around, and it really depends on my comfort level too. The kind of silliness that I will employ. Wow. some drivers. I just kind of wonder, oh, that's nice. That's really nice. Yeah. Not a fan. No. That was rude. That was really rude. Yeah. No. Not cool. So, anyway. The attitude of not being able to change. So I was convinced that I was not fit to have a voice. That that I was just broken. And then that's just how I was. Because the abuser had told me when therapy failed to make me think, feel, believe, want, etc. The way or what he thought I should, then it was in the implications. It was in the way he treated me and reacted and responded to me, and the tone and the body language and everything that I was fundamentally broken in some way, and that was just the way I was, that I was not fixable, that this is a permanent thing. Okay? There's something wrong with me and it can't be fixed. Dude, get off my butt. Bruh. Hell, eating me is not going to help things go faster. Oy. Anyway. But we get stuck in this mindset of I can't change, or I won't change, or whatever. We just get so hung up on this aspect, this perception of ourselves. Right? And because we believe that, we internalize that, it does not allow for the opportunity for us to change. We don't see that as a possibility. We don't see growth or healing or, learning new skills as a possibility. We just think, oh, well, this is just the way I am. Full stop. And, abusers, like I said, will use that as a cop-out to avoid responsibility and taking accountability for the things that they do. It's like, oh, well, that's just how I am and you're too sensitive. So, there are some traits that are inherent. Some of us are more introverted. Like, we get our energy, we recharge by ourselves. Like me, I need alone time. I absolutely need alone time, otherwise I will lose my marbles. In terms of, I just get overloaded, and so I need that downtime to be able to decompress. Okay? So with that, that's how I am. That's just the way I am. At the same time, I've learned to balance that. As my confidence has grown, and as aspects of my personality have shifted a little bit as I've grown, I've become kind of an extroverted introvert. And that's where a lot of the silliness comes in, is, in life I've learned that there are absolutely things to take seriously, yes. But you can't take everything seriously all the time. That's not going to work very well. And life is just, it's too short to spend it stressed out. And if there's one thing that an abuser wants, is to have you stressed out, because when you're stressed out, you're less able to cope with their stuff. And the easier you are to control. The more stressed you are, it's been a long day. The easier you are to control. Okay? Because you've got more cortisol running around in your brain up there. You've got probably some sleep problems if you're stressed. So you're probably not getting enough sleep. You're probably a little snappish, a little reactive if you're stressed. All depends on how you handle your stress, but the more stressed you are, the easier you are to control and manipulate and get a reaction out of, and anyway. So, where was I going with that? I was going somewhere, but that train left the station, and I am not sure where it went. Anyway, back to the idea of that's just how I am. Okay, I can see where maybe stress management would tie into that, but yeah, like I said, it's been a long day. 11-hour day, work day. And my brain is just going, yeah, no. Got about 5 hours of sleep last night, so you get what you get. And, that can also be kind of a cop-out, but at the same time, too, it's like if you're doing the best you can, then that is, like, the best you can at that time with what you've got. So, I guess a balance of expectation there. Anywho. Right, introversion and extroversion and personality traits like that. So, like I said, there's some stuff that's built in to certain degrees, and that is flexible and malleable. And it exists on a continuum, on a spectrum, and if you are flexible, then you will develop. If you're flexible, you will not stay the same your entire life. There have been multiple versions of me throughout my life, and some of them were not great. Some of them were really not great because of life circumstances and skills that I did not have. And I'm going to tell you that when you're being abused, the odds of you being the best version of you, they're not great. So there's just too many things that are working against you for it to be something that's even relatively easy. I mean, being the best version of yourself is a challenge under relatively normal or neutral circumstances, because you've got to want that. You've got to be willing to put in the work to recognize where you have areas that you want to work on. There are some things that I won't compromise on in terms of morals and values. And that's just the way it is. That's just how I am. It's part of who I am. And okay, that's acceptable. But when it comes to an unhealthy behavior, not okay. Somebody says that to you when you bring up to them neglect or abuse. No. No, that's a cop-out. And they are not going to change. If they do that, no. If they are intentionally abusing you. Like I said, I used to say that about myself. But that was because I did not know any different at that time. I didn't think I could change. I didn't think I could grow. I thought I was stuck being that way because that's what I was told about myself. You know, and my independence of thought had been so thoroughly undermined that I struggled to see any other option. I didn't for the longest time until somebody came and treated me like, you know, who knew me very well, came and treated me, you know, like there was nothing actually wrong with me. Like a normal human being with respect. And that challenged that view. It challenged my view of myself and my beliefs about myself. Because when you are treated like you are garbage and you are isolated, that tends to be what happens, is you believe the influence that is in your ear all the time. You know, it's like drip torture, you know? Eventually you just lose your marbles. And that is really what happened. So I can say with certainty that if you want to change, if something in your life is not working, if there are skills that you lack, or you just think, I can't do this, I can't change, this is just the way I am, I'm just stuck this way. That's not true. That's a belief. Okay? And that belief came from somewhere. I don't know where it came from, but usually it comes from somebody telling us that about ourselves, either directly or indirectly, through experiences or multiple failures where we lack the problem-solving skills to figure out how to do better and to obtain a different outcome for ourselves. Now, obtaining a different outcome for ourselves is not controlling another person and what they do. It is moving ourselves to a better place, emotionally, psychologically, and also sometimes physically. That feeling of stuckness is absolutely going to work against you in that, because you will act according to what you believe. Okay? You will act according to what you believe, whether what you believe is true or not. And that's how it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. When I believed that I was incapable, I acted accordingly, and so it became a self-fulfilling prophecy. When I believed that I was helpless, I did not reach out for help because I didn't believe that help was out there, that was available. You know, when I was told that nobody cared about me except for my abuser, and I ended up believing that because I was so restricted from contact with the people who supported me, and the abuser was the only one in my ear telling me this stuff. I began to believe it, and I acted accordingly. I acted as if that was true because that's what I believed. Did that help me? Abso-freaking-lutely not. That caused so many problems. Oh my gosh, I cannot with how many problems that caused. And that was the abuser's goal, was to cause problems and further rifts. So be careful what you're believing. Beliefs are very powerful. You know, not because of the universe or reciprocity or anything like that, but because you will act according to what you believe. If you believe that the sky is falling and that, you know, it's the end of the world, you're going to act accordingly. hate snowplows and ice. Ugh. Anyway. Big ruts. So if you believe, that you've got cancer and you've only got 5 days left to live, you're going to act accordingly, whether it's true or not. If you believe that people love you and care about you and that you matter, you're going to act accordingly. You are going to act according to what you believe. And that's what makes that so powerful. And in many ways, we end up creating our realities. If you act as though a certain thing is true, such as everybody hates you, you create that reality for yourself. You may not necessarily create that reality for other people, but if you act as though everybody hates you, it's going to be really hard for you to make friends and connect with people. Okay? So what does that do? That perpetuates that belief. But if you believe that you're likable, that you have good qualities, and that people, are relatively easy to connect with, then that's probably going to be the experience that you have. Not with everybody, but probably with the majority of people. If you believe everybody's stupid and they all have this attitude and et cetera, that's how you're going to view people. And you're going to probably get attitude because that's your attitude toward them. So be careful what you believe. Check your beliefs. Check your belief systems. Where are they coming from? What are you believing and why? Food for thought.